Ladies and gentlemen, Warhammer 40K and 40K Dawn of War 2 Chaos Rising. So I got a bit bored and I decided to go ahead and play this, because this is an honestly unique RTS and I liked it, especially when I played it. Now ever since I managed to get the campaign working, because it uses this weird login feature here, I don't know why they went with that, but they did. It used to use the, what was it way back when? That forgettable thing, the Windows games online. It was that thing that Windows tried to do, especially with GTA 4 most notably. Fortunately, it's been moved over to Steam, so you can actually play it now without having to go through God knows how many loopholes or such, trying to find your old password and whatever else information you need to log into Games for Windows Live. That's what it was. So, anyway, Games for Windows Live. So yeah, this is Warhammer 40K, Dawn of War 2, and Dawn of War 2 Chaos Rising. I'm also going to be doing Dawn of War 2 Retribution. And I think for this little series here, what I'm going to do is, since this game goes by days, actually I'm going to just go ahead and start it, and then I'll explain as I go. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. We're just going to ignore this. This doesn't exist, because I'm starting a brand new campaign. Commander name. This is always a hard one. And yes, I am going to go for Captain, because I am a little masochistic, and I'm curious on how difficult this game actually is. Let's name my commander Racktime. Yeah, why not? Where's Commander Racktime? Alright.
Subsector Aurelia. This cluster of worlds stands on the very edge of the Imperium of Man. From this frontier came the Blood Ravens, a chapter of the Emperor's own Space Marines. Captain Davian Thule and a handful of Space Marines lead the raw recruits defending these worlds. Now, another Space Marine joins this desperate battle. A newly promoted commander, ready to lead in our darkest hour. You are this Space Marine.
That's right, I am.
And you will tip the balance toward victory.
So this game is really interesting. I think it's really nice how how Relic created this. If any of you played Company of Heroes or Company of Heroes 2, you'll be familiar with the cover mechanics and the general gameplay style of that game. This game follows much the same RTS style, where units are very tactically based, they have certain special abilities, and you can actually put them in cover and such, and you have 3 different grades of cover. You've got the no cover, you got the medium cover, and then the heavy cover. But they took it a step further with this game and actually added RPG elements, if you will. I'll show you when I actually finish this beginning mission here.
Calderis. We Blood Ravens select our initiates from this world's fierce warriors. Calderis is the cradle and the future of our chapter. Now, the orcs would take it from us. This, we cannot allow.
No, that bit at the end was not my frames per second suffering. It's actually supposed to do that.
Stay in cover! Kill the orcs that are out in the open! Welcome, Commander. This is Captain Davian Thule, in command here on Calderis. We are battling the orcs that threaten this world. You have You've dropped right into the combat zone. I am north of you with several squads of our initiates. We are under heavy fire and losing control of our flanks. Move north and provide support.
Hold on a second. So as you can see, you have the green or heavy cover, and you've got the yellow or light cover.
Tactical squad.
The interesting thing about this game. Hold on. I need to turn down the audio since it is quite loud. That's nice. Is this good? I hope. I'm gonna turn it down one more time. Say about to here. Halfway ought to do. Anyway, right before I start back up, you'll notice that there's the green as in heavy cover, and then you have the yellow and light cover, and then you have just no cover at all, which is usually represented by a white or red dot. Red is negative cover. To anyone who's familiar with Company of Heroes, this is all old news to you, but to anybody who hasn't played Company of Heroes before, which if you haven't, you've missed out, if you ask me, there you go. That's basically one of the core gameplay concepts of this game. Now, what this game does, and it's kind of a nice thing, is that, you see how the fist there, when I mouse over these orcs here? That's melee combat. You see, my Force Commander here is specifically geared out right now in its default loadout to do melee combat. These guys are outfitted for ranged combat because they're armed with nothing but bolters. What is a bolter, you may ask? Well, the bolter, as stated in Warhammer 40K lore, is and I'm going to put the quotes around this because I'm pretty much quoting from what Space Marine says, the game. It is the .993 Godwin pattern bolter with self-propelled explosive tipped bolts. Think of it as a grenade launcher and an autocannon put into one. Space Marines are really the only individuals in this universe who can actually hold them by themselves as primary weapons. Regular humans, because Space Marines are mostly genetically modified in their own way. They have to have a tripod mount, a squad mounting. You'll notice that when units that are specifically designed for melee get close enough to ranged units, the ranged units will go into melee combat, but they're not going to do terribly well at it. They're not supposed to do that. You see that war gear pickup? That's the RPG element I'm talking about. You know how in most RPGs you're able to pick up items that you then apply to your own character, to a group of characters, depending on if you're playing in a party or something like that. Think World of Warcraft and your ability to pick up stuff and then apply it to your character.
But the greenskins
Same basic
will not
idea
give us
here.
much time before they attack again.
I think.
I
I've
need you
actually
and
never
Sergeant
played
Tarkus
Warhammer,
to
or
take
not
charge of
Warhammer,
driving the
World of
orcs
Warcraft.
back. Move up to the ruins east of here and prepare to repel the next orc wave.
As you can see, we have some conveniently placed walls here for us to have some heavy cover. I'm just going to put my standard infantry behind that and then move my Force Commander up because he's the one with the chain sword. Yeah, it's a chain sword. It's a chainsaw and a sword all in one.
Stay in cover. That truck has a heavy gun. More shooting, less dying, you kids!
Yeah, that was kind of a waste if you ask me. Shouldn't have done that.
They're in the ruins! Go get me some more
Now that's a war truck. Yeah, it's spelled terribly. The orcs aren't known for their literary qualities. War trucks are kind of like APCs from Company of Heroes in that they can reinforce infantry and they are lightly armed and armored. As you can see, when my force commander swings his sword, he usually knocks back a huge number of these guys.
Those orcs have opened a path through the hills somehow. Move forward and seal it.
Wait, he's right now about that truck beast. Time to get to that position, brothers. Tactical squad, return fire. Bring on that Destroy them. Nice shooting us. Target destroyed.
I really have no idea why these guys sound like they have British accents. Quirk of the universe, I guess.
The orcs are using a guard tower near the cave mouth. My squad can take it out with a grenade. Clear that building.
The Greenskins are clearly using that mine as a passage, Commander. Seal that entrance by any means necessary.
The orcs have stacked fuel and ordnance.
Naturally shooting the barrels with the explosive tipped
Good work, Space
autocannon
Marines.
rounds, for lack of a better word.
Greenskins will not be using
Doesn't
that passage
actually
again
destroy him,
anytime
now you have to use a
soon.
grenade.
But the leader managed to escape through the tunnel before we could kill him. That was our chance to cut this invasion off at the head.
He will show himself again, Tarkus. And when he does, we will be ready. Thunderhawks are en route. Prepare for extraction. None can stop the crusade of the righteous.
NLCS propaganda, Space Marine stuff, blah blah blah. As you can see here, you get a reward at the end of each mission. In this case, it's an improved chainsword. This doesn't really vary. You get this particular reward at the end of this mission every time. Yes, if last mission's conclusion is anything to go by. And here's the RPG elements I'm talking about. You see that my Force Commander and Tarkus, that is the core infantry squad I had on my number 2 grouping, actually has its own level up qualities. Health, range damage, melee damage, energy. Energy is mostly just kind of auxiliary abilities, so like, not the medikit, that's an expendable. I'll have to think on that. I want to say the grenades, but I think that's only in Retribution that you get those as energy. Anyway, that's the basic idea. Now, what I'm going to do, since I prefer ranged combat, I'm not a huge fan of melee combat, I'm going to mostly focus on ranged damage for this playthrough.
Welcome aboard Strike Cruiser Armageddon, Commander. Calderis is currently facing a massive orc invasion that threatens to spill over to the entire sector. Urgent distress signals are coming from other nearby sectors, but we must concentrate our efforts here. I need you to take charge of an assault that's stalled on the surface below. Drop to the point marked on the planet map and start pushing into the orc's flank.
Okay, so this is the days that I'm talking about. It says day 2. I'm just going to ignore that and go by the one remaining deployment. It should say day 3 when this is done, and at that point I'm going to pretty much conclude this particular recording. Keep it nice and short, even though I'm personally a fan of long, overly long, actually, replays. So as you can see here, you've got basic slots, armor. At some point in the near future, this guy's going to have some pretty good gear. Of course, as you progress, you get progressively better and better gear. You just keep switching it out. This is the whole RPG element I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, you even got melee damage, skill, etc., etc. You get the idea. So, as you can see, there are different stages at which, I guess I would call them milestones for skills that you gain access to certain abilities. For example, when I reach a certain level of health, I get Zealous, which is increasing the energy the charge range of 2 victories. So 2 victory is this here. This is what I'm talking about. This is energy, I think. This takes energy. Range specialist, special A, yep, weapons training, fire plasma guns and flamers. I cannot use plasma guns or flamers with this character, my Force Commander, until I get this ability. However, noting that I have 3 pips to this already, I think I'm actually going to focus on making my Force Commander melee proficient, while also upgrading his health. Because as you can see here, this particular milestone says Battle Cry. For a limited time, Force Commander performs special attacks with every hand-to-hand strike, etc., etc., etc. You get the idea. More special attacks, basically deadly or close range. I'm also going to give him a better chainsword. And the improved bolter is going to go to Tarkus's squad. As you can see here, he also gained a new ability, Battle Cry, which basically makes him much better at melee combat. As you can see here, Tarkus's squad is the same way. He has certain abilities that my Force Commander does not. Now, as we progress in this campaign, weapons that we get are actually going to have different cosmetic appearances. The improved bolter is basically an improved bolter. It has no real special redeeming qualities other than it's better than the stock bolter. So yeah. I'm definitely going to focus on range damage with this guy. There we go. As you can see here, Tactical Advance. This doesn't use energy as far as I know. It just basically makes it so that they move slower, but they are more resilient. So, at that, I think I'm going to go ahead and make sure I have dealt with everything. As you can see here, you have more squads that become available to you in the future. You choose different places that you can land at. We'll see how we go on.
The Greenskins have taken over a hamlet outside Argus. This hamlet sits on a vital supply route, and all of Calderis could fall if we do not dislodge them. Sergeant Avitus and his squad of Devastator Space Marines held the hamlet alone, but they were finally overwhelmed. You must retake the hamlet and drive the orcs back. To aid in this, I am assigning Sergeant Cyrus and his squad of scouts to your command. His infiltration expertise should prove invaluable.
If you've ever played any number of games, you will immediately recognize Sergeant Cyrus's voice actor. The guy shows up in so many games it's not even funny. Most notably Tom Clancy games. I notice he shows up in the majority of those. I'm not familiar with the guy's name myself.
This guard-duty stuff is naff. We should be out stopping Uries again like we did to the town. Wait, did you hear something?
Time to emerge. Cyrus to Armageddon. In position.
Space Marines, heartening news. Avitus, the squad leader who defended the hamlet, is still alive. The orcs incapacitated him, but apparently could not finish the job.
Avitus is too stubborn to die.
So it would seem, Cyrus. An orc guard position stands between you and Sergeant Avitus. Approach with stealth and eliminate the Greenskins.
Understood.
Look, move quickly.
Bring down that guard tower, Cyrus.
As you can see, Cyrus has certain special abilities that are normally not available to, say, Tarkus's squad. In this case, Cyrus is more stealth and infiltration oriented than Tarkus, who is basically brute force. So here we have brute force and we have finesse. I like brute force, frankly.
Be vigilant. As you order. Out of sight. Moving toward target. A demolition charge will bring that tower down.
Make ready, brothers. Reposition.
Orc guards eliminated.
Excellent work, Cyrus. Avitus's position is on your tactical display. Revive him so that he may join your attack.
For the chapter.
Damn orcs found another pass through the hills.
There is a relay beacon near your position, Commander. Secure it, and we can deploy reinforcements to fill out your squads. Move Avitus near the beacon, and we can get his squad back to full strength. Reinforcements inbound. Excellent. Avitus and his Devastator squad are back to full strength. Now, push into the hamlet and eliminate those orcs, Commander.
So Avitus is basically the squad's weapons team. In Company of Heroes, he would be the equivalent to an MG42 team or a 30 caliber team. Just something that, you know, a guy who deploys his weapons and therefore is more effective in a fixed direction.
Brothers, we go.
As you can see, there are a lot of Company of Heroes qualities that are showing up here.
Savages loaded, brothers. With enemy troops. Remain vigilant.
Interesting thing about this is that you can actually set your infantry just your infantry. Never mind. Your infantry stance. So I could set Cyrus here to melee or ranged. I'm going to keep him on ranged because I prefer ranged.
Tactical Marines awaiting orders. Destination.
Those orcs are turning tail.
They could be going for help. Stay alert.
Habitus. My squad should set up in heavy cover, Commander. The suppressive fire from my heavy bolter will keep the greenskins pinned. There. Devastator's ready to fire. Our heavy bolters are deadly, but they take time to set up and have a limited field of fire.
Get to that position, brothers.
Scouts here. This way. Moving on.
Habitus repositioning. How can we serve? Reposition.
Entering the building.
Commander, there is a second relay beacon near your position. Activate it to finish securing the hamlet.
Attack target.
Excellent work, Commander. The hamlet is secure. More orcs are on the way, Commander. Set up your forces to repel the attack. This hamlet must not fall again.
Moving to cover.
As you can see, these two little green dots here represent what kind of cover they're in.
Be vigilant.
So, green means good, yellow means alright, nothing means not so good.
Destroy the key structure.
Emperor be praised. Greenskin eliminated.
Too much data!
Good work, Avitus. They have nowhere to run now. Target them before they can get to cover. Receiving fire.
And there we get another RPG pickup, the Herald
Well
of the
done,
Coming
Space
Doom.
Marines. Thunderhawks are on approach to return you to the Armageddon.
Time to redeploy.
This victory will long be remembered in the halls of glory.
And our reward is improved power armor. So, near as I could tell, we got 2 rewards that that mission. We got the improved power armor, that is basically mandatory at the end, and we got the Herald of the Coming Doom. Rather grandiose name. And we also got the Curious of Azurai. So that's nice. Don't know when we picked this thing up. Oh, and each item has its own little description. Well, most of them anyway. A couple of them don't because they're just that basic. And there you go, giving you enough time to actually read everything. Supposedly. I hope I did anyway.
Well done, Commander. With the hamlet cleared, we can secure the main route into the capital.
The Greenskins knew to strike where we were most vulnerable, Captain Thule.
Cyrus is correct. Someone is agitating the orcs and pointing them at valuable targets. If we are going to win this war, we need to find out who is using the Greenskins against us.
Now, I'm personally not a fan of Cyrus and his squad, mostly because they're scouts. They're basically Space Marine initiates. Also because I'm not really a fan of stealth gameplay in this game to begin with. But we'll use him for the time being, and as such I'm going to upgrade his energy skills so that he doesn't actually drain energy while he's stationary, as you can see there. And of course it's this moment that I wonder if I'm actually recording this while I'm streaming it. I hope I am. Unfortunately, none of my infantry are actually a high enough level to use the Curious of Azurai just yet. So there is leveling in this. As such, we'll just go ahead and equip my standard infantry squad with some improved power armor and level up Avitus. Extended range with squad weaponry is always good. Okay, so now it's day 3, and I'm going to cut this off here now. I hope you enjoyed, and have an excellent time.